On the news, President Muhammadu Buhari salutes Nigeria's fallen heroes as the nation marks 2021 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Lagos State revives hope of construction of the 4th mainland bridge. And NAFDAC warns Nigerians of fake COVID-19 vaccine in circulation. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogride. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday marked the 2021 Armed Forces Remembrance Day at the Eagle Square in Abuja. The president led top government officials and members of the diplomatic corps to honor the nation's fallen heroes. The event, which is a traditional laying of wreath, marks the end of activities of the 2021 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, which started with the launching of the Remembrance Emblem last year. The President, his Vice, Yemi Osinbajo, President of the Senate, Hamid Lawan, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, and his Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Muhammadu, led the nation's security chiefs to lay wreath in honor of the fallen heroes. Special prayers were offered for living and fallen heroes, followed by gun salutes and a symbolic release of the pigeons to represent peace and signing of the anniversary register, among others. Meanwhile, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has lauded the sacrifices of ex-servicemen and other fallen heroes, as well as men who gave their lives to defend the nation's peace and sovereignty. Sanwo-Olu, who made the recommendation while speaking at the Armed Forces Remembrance Day parade held at the Lagos State Government House Marina, expressed gratitude for being able to observe this year's ceremony, appreciating the organizers of the event for a job well done.
It's usually a yearly ceremony, and we're thankful that this year's ceremony could still also be observed. I want to congratulate and commend all of our officers in the military and also the Nigerian police, but more especially the men of the Legion, everybody that has participated in this year's Armed Forces Remembrance ceremony, the parades, the men on guard and everything. I think it's been also a testimonial and it's a yearly ritual that we're thankful to God that we can still keep this year's activity as important as it is. We're still able to observe all of the protocols, and you can see that everything has gone very, very well. It's just a 1-hour event, and we're thankful for the organizers that they've been able to put this together again.
And despite economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on the global economy, the Lagos State government says total revenue target of 991.03 billion naira for the 2021 financial year is very much feasible. The government believes its 702.935 billion naira budget is based on available economic information and intelligence. TV360's Abisola Adebayo was at the budget's breakdown and analysis presented to the media. She files in this report.
Key stakeholders in the economy of Lagos State are all here to listen to government officials on how the state intends to raise funds and execute the 2021 budget. The Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Sami Gube, says the figure projected is motivated by last year's sterling performance despite a very challenging environment. Egube believes there are huge revenue-generating opportunities in the state, which include real estate, transportation and commerce sectors, stressing that data and intelligence will be used to unravel revenue opportunities and leakages.
This administration, under the leadership of Mr. Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, will leave no stone unturned in ensuring the full implementation of this budget. I have assured you earlier that we have a bespoke monitoring mechanism that just ensures we have our eyes on the ball at all times to drive the MDAs to do what is required to ensure a very strong budget performance. I'd like to also at this point mention that it's important as Lagos and as Lagosians that we also commit to upholding our civic responsibilities in paying the right taxes and encouraging our people to do so.
Officials, while answering questions on the huge debt owed by the state, say debt is a positive thing for economic development when funds are channeled towards infrastructural development.
Debt is good, especially when we're using them for capital projects. I think what is more important is our debt sustainability benchmark. To answer the question straight, we have two benchmarks that we follow. There is the Federal Debt Management Office benchmark of 30% revenue to debt. And of course, there's the World Bank benchmark, which is 40%. So on that basis, we closed the year 2020 at 19.8%. Very, very far low from any of the benchmarks that we're talking about.
We're going to build new schools. The new schools are of three types. First, we'll have the vocational schools. We have about 5 vocational schools in Lagos. Those are inadequate in number. They've been 5 for decades. And what we've agreed is that we're going to build mono schools. They are quite expensive to build because, you know, apart from the building, you must equip and resource them well.
Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, in his submission, says Lagos is doing everything to ensure that the coronavirus pandemic does not negatively affect the economy of the state. He says government is concerned about the well-being of Lagos residents who work daily to generate the wealth of the state.
Our first strategy to keep the economy open is the use of non-pharmaceutical interventions. Secondly, contact tracing and containment to slow down the transmission of the virus in the economy. If the virus is going to be with us for the next months or years, then it is something that we just have to get used to living with and adjust our lifestyle to accommodate this new phenomenon that we know as COVID.
The commissioner says the Lagos state government has removed all tariffs associated with healthcare delivery to avoid collateral damage in the sector on account of the coronavirus pandemic, which has given rise to increased patronage of state health facilities. Abisola Adibayo, TV360, Lagos.
Still on Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Friday said the state government would participate fully in all the programs leading to the final burial of the former military governor of the state, Rear Admiral Ndubisi Kanu. Consequently, the state has set up a 4-man committee to work with the deceased family and other stakeholders to immortalize and give late Ndubisi Kanu a befitting burial. Speaking during a condolence visit to the family of Ndubisi Kanu at the deceased residence in Victoria Island, Lagos, Governor Sanwo-Olu described the late elder statesman as a detribalized Nigerian.
The state will be fully participating in the program leading to what the family would want us to do in all of the programs leading to the final burial. The state has identified a 4-man committee that can work with the family from tomorrow, whatever. I mean, we'll drop their names so that we can have, you know, our own full imprint. Is a man that I personally have come to respect. Is a man that has supported our government from day one. So that's why we're here, humbly, you know, for and on behalf of the government and people of Lagos State, to say and reassure you that the state is solidly beside you, you know, in also this time of grief, and to express, you know, our condolences once again, and to say that whatever you would want us to, because we want you to lead, but we are right beside you to ensure, and other stakeholders, because it's not just a man for one part, it is a national figure, you know, and other stakeholders to ensure that we immortalize and we give him a befitting, you know, passage of exit.
There's hope that present administration in Lagos State will kickstart the much anticipated 4th mainland bridge. This was revealed during a media briefing by officials of the state government on breakdown of the 2021 appropriation and how the state plans to raise funds and implement the key infrastructural projects in the state. Simisola Adigun has the details.
Shortly after the opening of the 3rd mainland bridge 31 years ago, the idea to construct a 4th mainland bridge to address the ever-increasing population has been on the table. But successive governments in Lagos State have not been able to deliver the project. The need to construct the 4th mainland bridge becomes evident on a daily basis, with heavy traffic gridlock leading to loss of human and economic time. But the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration has some good news for Lagosians.
The Third Mainland Bridge was constructed well over 30 years ago, and we ought to have finished on this Fourth Mainland Bridge. And one of the things that has not allowed us as a people and as a nation to actually close out on that has been the lack for the transparency that we needed to show if we were getting funding on a PPP basis. That we started. We started this process exactly in November 2019, where we did ask for expression of interest, International News, Nigerian News Journal. And that by that way, what we declared to the whole world was that we were going to throw up the cards open, and that's what we have done.
The bidding process for the company that will handle the Fourth Mainland Bridge has been narrowed down to 6 from 32.
Fourth Mainland Bridge is a 38-kilometer road and bridge section, starting from Ebemadesoya all across to the lagoon. The estimated construction cost we know. You have so it's not just Lagos State government just doing it. You have consultants with us in the event that there are some skills as a state that our people do not have. So you have transaction advisors. You have on the legal side, you have on the finance side, you have on the technical side, just to be able to support the government. And so I'm hoping that come before the end of third quarter, between second and third quarter of this year, we'll be able to get to a financial close.
Meanwhile, the state said it had secured a single-digit interest rate funding deal for the Red Rail line, which is scheduled to commence operations by the third quarter of next year, along with the Blue Rail lines.
The importance of the rail line to decongesting Lagos, and with the financial structure already put in place, we're targeting the third quarter of 2022 next year. So, I mean, all hands are on deck to ensure that the blue line as well as the red line becomes functional, especially, I mean, for the blue line, we're talking about the section from mile 2 to Marina, and then for the red line, we're talking about the section from Agbado all the way to Winyigbo.
The state says it is aware of the importance of the rail lines to decongest in Lagos, and with the financial structure already put in place, the government is targeting the third quarter of next year. Simisola Adigun, TV360, Lagos.
Nigeria received 10 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine in March, Minister of Health has confirmed. The vaccines will add to 100,000 expected doses of Pfizer vaccine. It is, however, unclear whether the vaccines will be financed by the African Union or as part of COVAX, which links the World Health Organization with private partners to work for food procurement and equitable distribution. Government recently announced that it hoped to vaccinate 40% of the population in the year 2021. But the challenges of transportation and storing vaccines for many millions of people are enormous in a country where adequate hospital facilities are lacking. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, on Friday says that it has not approved any COVID-19 vaccine. The agency warned that the fake vaccines have started circulating in the country, urging the public not to purchase such drugs as they can cause COVID-19-like illnesses and can lead to death. The Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye, during a virtual media briefing in Abuja, also urged government establishments, agencies and big corporations not to order COVID-19 vaccines without confirming from NAFDAC if the vaccine has been approved. Adeyeye further clarified that the agency has not received any application from COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers yet, and therefore no vaccines have been approved by the agency. The police have stormed some drug dealers' hideouts in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, recovering cash and substances reported to be hard drugs. The police said the cash sum of over 2.7 million naira and hard drugs worth over 10 million naira were recovered at the scene. Reports say the police raided a suspected drug cartel at Myers area of Lafenwa in Abeokuta North. The State Commissioner of Police, Edward Ajogun, confirmed on Thursday that the police acted on a tip-off. Ajogun disclosed that the police made the recoveries, but the suspect escaped as operatives did not want to engage them while fleeing to avoid civilian casualties. We'll take a break here, but still to come, federal government asks Nigerians to disregard rumors about a second lockdown.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Now let's take a recap of some of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday marked the 2021 Armed Forces Remembrance Day at the Eagle Square in Abuja. The president led top government officials and members of the diplomatic corps to honor nation's fallen heroes. We also told you that the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has warned that a fake COVID-19 vaccine has started circulating in the country, urging the public not to purchase such drugs as they can cause COVID-19-like illnesses and can lead to death. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, for more updates, do log onto our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online. Let's turn our attention now to COVID-19 cases and updates. Nigeria's recorded 1,479 new cases from the novel COVID-19, taking the country's caseload to 105,478. According to the daily update from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, 23 deaths were also recorded in the last 24 hours, taking fatalities to 1,405. Active cases have also increased to 30,000 rather, to 343, while persons discharged from hospitals across the country at 83,830. Data from the NCDC also confirmed that new cases were recorded from 25 states. Lagos leads with 697 cases, followed by FCT and Nasarawa with 201 and 80 cases respectively. And the federal government on Thursday urged Nigerians to disregard the news circulating on the social media that it was contemplating another lockdown. Chairman, Presidential Task Force (PTF) on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, made a clarification in a statement signed by Willie Bassi, Director of Information in the SGF office. Mustafa advised Nigerians to join hands with the federal government to contain the spread of the virus by adhering to non-pharmaceutical interventions as recommended by the PTF. The statement says there is no consideration at any of the meetings of the PTF and no recommendation being made to the effect. The PTF frowns at unpatriotic misinformation, which is capable of causing unnecessary panic and anxiety among the populace. We'll take a short break here, but up next is business and stock market review. Please stay with us. Now we have Jerusha Amarebo to bring us up to speed on the latest in business and stock market review.
Thank you, Shade. Nigeria's inflation rate increased by 15.75% year-on-year in December 2020. Now, this is the highest rate recorded since 2017. According to the latest Consumer Price Index report released by the National Bureau of Statistics, the latest figure is 0.86% points higher than the rate of 14.89% recorded in November 2020. Still, according to NBS, the rise in the food index was caused by an increase in prices of staple food, which rose by 19.56% in December compared to 18.3% recorded in the previous month, while core inflation stood at 11.37%, up by 0.32% when compared to 11.06% recorded in November 2020. In the last 5 years, the federal government has spent over 1.5 billion naira on the disbursement of conditional cash transfer fund to 76,804 poor, vulnerable households in Kebbi State. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, had a flag off of the FG Special Cash Grant for rural women in Benin, Kebbi State, stated that since the beginning of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, attention has been paid to taking care of the poor, and that this has informed the decision of the federal government to increase the National Social Investment Program with a view to promoting social inclusion. According to her, rural women totaling 42,000 were expected to benefit from the cash grant of 20,000 each in Kebbi State, since the grant was aimed at uplifting the socio-economic status of rural women in the state. We'll take a pause here and return with stock market review. Do stay with us. Positive sentiments persisted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Friday, with the all-share index extending growth by 0.52% to close at 41.176 basis points. Similarly, market capitalization also gained 112 billion to close at 21.5330 trillion naira. We look at our gainers today, where we see that the markets gained was piloted by price appreciation in medium and large capitalized stock led by Floor Mill. Market breadth also closed positive with 42 gainers compared with 12 losers. We see Flour Mill as a top gainer. Now, Flour Mill's collaboration with AGB Tech to boost pest control action has impacted its market positivity, making it the biggest gainer for today with a 2 naira 8 kobo gain. We also see gainers like MTN Nigeria. We also see Presco and Nigerian Breweries with a combined 5 naira 95 kobo gain. Now that completes the list of 4. We also have our top losers today. Adova was actually on the gainers list yesterday, but today Adova is on the losers, shedding further as the biggest loser today with 2 naira 15 kobo loss. We also see May and Baker Nigeria PLC, Zenith Bank and Unilever with all the combined loss of 2 naira 52 kobo. Our market summary today also sees that 666 million worth 6 billion naira exchanged hands in 6,980 deals. On our global scene for today, yesterday was quite on the greens, but today the tradings of the US and UK stocks closed lower on Friday as President-elect Joe Biden $1.9 trillion stimulus plan sparked fears of an increase in taxes, while investors paused quarterly reports from major US lenders. Now, similarly, after a 5 straight session of gains hitting a 3-decade high, Japan's benchmark Nikkei stock average inched lower on Friday's session as investors felt the overheat in the market. Now, to this end, the global scene is on the red, as you see FTSE saying a 1.23% loss, Dow Jones on a 0.77% loss, and Nikkei on a 0.62% loss. And that's all we have on Stock Market Review. It's back to you, Folashade, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Jerusha Amarego. Move on now to the foreign scene, where Uganda's opposition leader, Bobi Wine, has alleged that the country's election has seen widespread fraud and violence as votes trickled in Friday on their internet blackout. The 38-year-old former pop star turned MP did not give details about his accusation, which contradicted the government account that Thursday's vote had been largely peaceful. The internet remained down for a third day as vote counting continued, with provisional results from 24% of the polling stations giving President Yoweri Museveni an early lead of 65%, while Wine trailed with 27%. Full results of the election are expected to be out by Saturday afternoon. President Museveni is seeking the 6th term in office, having ruled for almost 4 decades. And his main rival among 10 opposition candidates is Wine, whose popularity among a youthful population has rattled the former rebel leader. Well, up next is entertainment reports.
Ugandan politician Robert Sentamu, also known as Bobby Wine, has been on the news since he announced his intentions to run for the seat of the president of his country. The former music star's bold move against the president of the country, Yoweri Museveni, has been greeted with so much support from a lot of people home and abroad. Interestingly, in Nigeria, a number of celebrities have backed the former reggae dancehall singer turned politician's presidential bid. Fowles, Davido and Adekunle Gold are among celebrities who have shown immense support and encouragement to Bobby Wine while offering prayers for the citizens. US rapper Offset took to his social media page to share a profound statement, but his tweet seemed to have gotten wrong on the side of Nigerians. Offset, who is Cardi B's husband, stated on Twitter to let his fans know that they have to give people credit when it is due. Although the rapper's statement is correct, Offset committed a grammatical blunder when he spelled D-U-E, due, as D-O-do, and that caused a major buzz for Nigerians. Expectedly, they took to Cardi B's husband comment section to point out his errors while noting the correct spelling of the word. And that's all we have for you in the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment now to sports. Former Nigerian international Odion Igalo is open to moving to the United States of America to play for Major League Soccer club Inter Miami. The 31-year-old striker is set to return to his parent club, Shanghai Greenland, following a 12-month loan spell at English giants Manchester United. Igalo will return to Chinese Super League side Shenhua at the end of the month, but is not planning to stay in China for the long term. And that's it in our package. Thank you for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde.